So this is the XAUUSD analysis for Friday the 20th of October. XAUUSD, also known as gold. Now, let's look what happened with prices here on the 19th of October. So, on the 19th, let's just get this correct. Actually, I'm just going to change the crosshairs on the chart just to make it a bit more, make it a bit easier to track the movements of my stylus. So we did come into this zone. I did mention the 1279 being an area previously of weekly pivot. We do have the monthly pivot in and around, well, the previous week's pivot hanging around the 1276. I didn't mention 1276 because the 1279 and 1276 are so close to one another. I prefer to use 1279. So the 1279 level, we've seen prices come all the way down there, and we did catch a bit of a bid, as indicated by this candle here, which was that the 8 a.m. candle, was it? No, it was a candle which opened at 7 a.m. So we did catch a bit of a bid there, and prices have traded upwards. Now, we did catch us catching a bid from the horizontal support of the weekly pivot is not too surprising, but we are up to the 200 period moving average, where we did sell off over here from the 200 period moving average, and we're currently trading there as well. So this 200 period moving average could potentially be some dynamic resistance. So we have to see how prices react to it, whether, because we do seem to have had a bit of some selling in around most recently earlier today from this 200 period moving average, but prices did not break down from this 200 period moving average. So a successful navigation of the 200 period moving average should see prices go up to the 1296 level, after which if we do see consolidation and we do not see a reversal, we'll be targeting again at 1305. We have to be aware, if we do get all the way up to 1305, that we might put in a double top for prices to retrace down even further, possibly way beyond the 1270, 1284, possibly even all the way down to 1263. But that's some way away. I don't think we're likely to get up to 1305 on today, Friday the 20th of on Friday the 20th of October. So our next target, if we do successfully navigate this 200 period average, would be 1296. After which we'll be looking at 1305, just to make, and we would be very cautious about there being a double top for a further selling momentum to the downside. Beyond that, again, we'll be looking at the major level of 1320, which we're unlikely to get to anytime immediately, because I don't even anticipate we'll get up to 1305 on the 20th. So if we do break down from this 200 period average, or we do get up to 1296 and we do break down, again, we'll be looking to see if prices do catch a bit of a bid in around this 1279, 1276 level. If we don't catch a bid there, the next major level is all the way down to 1263. 1263 I do expect to be the far end of the range, as we are trading at 1290 at the moment. I can't see prices trading more than, say, $30 to the downside, so I do expect 1263 to be the lower end of the range, and 1305 to the upside to be the higher, the other extreme of the range. So let's just have a look on the higher time frames. So overall on a monthly chart, we've had our lows, we've had a higher low, and we did expect prices to go on to test the 1375, see how they react in around there. We did sell off from 1357 most recently, so we are operating in the shadow of a monthly candle in September, which we did have a bit of a sell off, and we did close bearish. So while we're still operating in the shadow, we do have to maintain a level of caution, but the overall trend on the monthly chart is to the upside. So if I have a look on the weekly chart, the trend is a bit more prominent here. We've had a series of higher lows, which are bullish for prices. Most recently, though, however, we've had the in 2016 we had the highs in July in around the 1375 level, and most recently, in light of the 4 weeks of selling off the rejection of the 400 period moving average here on the weekly time frame, we could interpret that as being a high low at the 1357 level. Now, if we do interpret that as being a higher low, a lower high off the 1357 level, because it's 1375 being the high, and the 4-week sell-off that we've seen from the 400 period moving average here from 1357. This lower high should potentially see prices trade all the way back down to even the 1200 level. But there does appear to be a bit of resilience in the gold prices at present, and we just have to see how it develops, and how we have to see how see whether let's get the thoughts correct here. The unwillingness of the gold prices to sell off would indicate that overall the bears don't have complete control of the market, and in light of the bullish move on the monthly chart, again we have to we have to be a bit more cautious, because even the selling from off the highs in 2016, we didn't go on to test the lows previously in and around the 2015, so we did post a higher low regardless of the fact that we did have a quite sizable sell-off. So the sell-off from here now, if we do post a higher low again, we would expect a break of the 1375 level, as the bears have not been able to take complete control of the market and send the prices much lower than they were from the previous sell-off. So yeah, that should pretty much wrap up the yes. So sorry about that. This sounds a bit confusing. So let's see if I can just draw it on the chart. Let's draw it on the chart, because it wasn't articulated as I would like. So alright, let's just draw this on the chart. Let's just draw it on the chart. So if I yes, let's draw this on the chart. Let's just put this trend line on the chart. Let's just put this trend line on the chart. Okay, and let's just get another trend line. I want this to come on. There we go. I probably should change the I'll just change the color here. I'm just changing the I'll just change the color from red, because we do have a lot of red lines on the chart. Black doesn't even do it either, does it? Nope, doesn't do it either. Sure, I'll have to use black. So I'll use black, and okay, save that. So might be difficult to see it on this chart, but yeah. Let's change it to green. Let's change this one to green. It's taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So what can we see here? On this weekly chart, we can see the contraction in prices. We've had a lower highs and overall, and higher lows most recently. So if we were to see a sell-off and the bears were to be in complete control of the market, we could expect possibly for prices to retrace all the way down to the these lows over here at the end of 2016, in and around the 1122 level. But what we've seen so far is, especially in 2017, is the sell-offs have been quite brief, and after each sell-off we've gone on to make higher highs. So the sell-offs have posted higher lows, and we've seen higher highs since. Now this grinding price action to the upside of gold could potentially see us move all the way up to this 1375 level and break to the upside. But if we do break down beneath where we've got this trend line here, beneath where prices are, we could see this major level of 1200 tested, and beyond that again we'll be looking for 1122. I don't anticipate us going all the way down to 1122, but instead I do expect prices to break to the upside to possibly test this 1375 level. That's what I meant to say. We do have a bit of a contradiction in that we do have the lower highs overall from 1375 to 1357 of the reaction of the 400 period average, but in the most recent times, the most recent price action has been a series of higher lows, which are bullish. Now, let's just have a look at the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we've seen prices come all the way down to 1263 level and reacted positively from this 400 period moving average here on the daily chart. We've come up to this major level of 1305 and sold off quite a bit from there. Now, in light of the they posted what just happened there? If I just get that right, sorry about that. So, in light of the bullish day we've posted yesterday, if we do have another bullish day, we could interpret it as being a higher low. If we do have a higher low, a test of 1305 again would seem likely, beyond which we'll be looking for prices to go on to 1320, 1340, and eventually a test of 1357. If, however, this was merely an impulsive move on the 19th, and we do have another bearish day on the 20th, say a candle which closes near the lows and pretty much closes near the lows of the 19th, we should expect prices to travel all the way down to the 1263, where we do have a bit of a confluence of the 400 period average and the horizontal level marks had here in red of 1263, beyond which there is a pretty big drop all the way down to possibly next major level horizontally is 1214, but we do have some dynamic levels in around the 1240s and 1232, where we do have some moving averages on the higher time frames. So that should pretty much wrap up my analysis for the XAUUSD gold on Friday the 20th of October. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.